try to get points when you can. Not have any turnovers. They play pretty sound defense. They don't try to do too much as far as confuse you and wheel and deal. They just try to line up and basically let you make your own mistakes. Kind of one of those defenses where they kind of just sit back and play as fast as can, play pretty base, and they know that their offense is going to obviously try to win the possession game and win the clock game. So just from last year, it's obviously they did a good job of physically dominating us as far as just on the perimeter. They really beat us up. And, we want to try to fix that this year.
You're coming off not one of your better games. Can you explain what happened in Miami? Was it your fault? Was it something else?
Yeah, it was my fault. Just not being sharp that day. It all came down to my position. You got to be sharp every Saturday when you come out. You got to make sure you're on your P's and Q's. I wasn't as sharp as I should have been. A lot of those miscommunications were my fault.
With time of possession being such a key against Georgia Tech, does that change your offensive game plan much?
Not at all. You just got to go out there and execute your game plan. You can't change your game plan just because you're playing an offense that runs the ball and play that takes good football and holds on to it. You got to go out there and execute. You got to go out there and take care of football. Try to keep the chains moving. Be efficient on third downs. And if you do that, you have a chance of winning. That's everything.
They don't turn the ball over hardly ever at all. Does that somehow put pressure on your offense?
No.
Maximize your chances?
No. It's just one of those things where they're efficient with football. You got to match their efficiency, and then we have to stretch our defense to find ways to get the ball out, find ways to create turnovers, create havoc, and then hope that you guys take care of football yourself. That's really all it is. And that's the same thing every week. There's teams that don't turn the ball over very much. They're really efficient in the run game and the pass game, and that week you have to just kind of match it. Every week you have to win the turnover ratio, win the ratio of just taking care of football. And any drive with a kick, whether it be a punt, whether it be a field goal, whether it be an extra point. Just try to have that mindset. When the big plays we make, big plays.
Through the first 3 games, you and Isaac Blakey hooked up several times for big plays. Last 2, he's not been a major factor. Is that something defenses are doing, or?
No. You just gotta find it. It's one of those things where you don't come out every week and dominate every week. That's just it's very unheard of. It's very hard to do. Only a few guys in the country do it week in and week out. And they're just the most physically and unstoppable dominant force on the field. It's one of those things where it's a gift, but it's a struggle that every college player goes through. And once in a while, you gotta something doesn't work out for you. You might tweak your ankle, or something like that might happen, and you got to figure out how to get the job done. And that's just all it is. You just got to figure it out. We have complete utmost confidence in Isaac. He's going to do his job, and he's going to do a great job at it.
Where is your confidence level with the deep balls right now? It seems like you've been trying that quite a bit more this year.
Deep balls are low percentage throws. They're kind of hit or miss. Obviously, some teams you see are better at it, just because it comes to the efficiency of their offense and play action game. But we're gonna keep throwing deep ball. It's gotta give my guys a chance every time I throw it, and that's really all it comes down to.
With the week off, did you get to watch college football Saturday?
Oh yeah, I watched a little bit. I relaxed. I lay around until about probably 4 o'clock, and then I figured I need to get up and do something. So I got up and went out, went shopping, took my mom, my sister shopping, and just kind of walked around a little bit. So I missed a couple games, and then caught the nightcap games.
I was asking because it was an amazing day, the first time in history, first weekend in history, 5 top 10 teams out. Does that get through to you to spark you?
It's honestly like the beauty of playing college football. You never know what's going to happen. It's one of those things where you can have the most dominant team on the field, but if you don't execute, another team executes better than you, they have a good chance of beating you, whether they have better players than you or not. I've seen it just being here, and it's just the fun, exciting thing about being a part of college football. You don't really understand. Like obviously, you have your predictions, you look at the paper and you see previous game and records and statistics, but all that doesn't matter on Saturdays. You have to come out and execute every Saturday. And that's the beauty of it. That's why I love college football.
You guys are a touchdown underdog this week. Do you like being the underdog?
It doesn't matter. I've been an underdog since I've been here, so that never phases me or us. It doesn't bother us.
The fact that Duke hasn't beaten Georgia Tech in so long, is that an impact? Do you think we really owe these guys something?
I mean, it's not. I mean, you want to win every game. It's not because we haven't beaten them. It's just one of those things where, yeah, we haven't beaten them. And I think like the only team in the ACC we haven't beaten like 20 years besides like Florida State or something like that. But it's one of those things where you want to go out there and execute. They're a good team. They're 5-0 for a reason. And we want to beat Georgia Tech not because other teams have to beat them. We want to beat them because we want to win every game we go out and play on Saturday.
No bulletin board material today.
No.
You guys started 0-2 in the ACC last year and still won the division. Could that? You're 0-1. I mean, could that happen again, or you think that's probably?
Honestly, I don't. There's always going to be a lot of possibilities when it comes to the ACC. Just teams there's a lot of good teams right now in our league, and a lot of just surprising wins and upsets. So it's kind of hard to say now. It's only going into week 6 for us, so we don't. You can't really tell who's going to come out winning the Coastal, who's going to win Atlantic, who's going to win the whole conference. So I think it's too early to say what's what.
But you'd be awfully far behind Georgia Tech if you don't win Saturday.
So what?
You'd be 2 games behind, and plus losing the tiebreaker if you don't win Saturday. So it's pretty important to stay in the race at least with Georgia Tech.
I mean, I haven't even looked at as far as the standings. If we look at far in advance, we're going to miss the big picture, which is happening every day in front of us. So I haven't looked into that. Every game we play is a big game for us. So that's how we approach it.
Does it feel like people in the division are more even this year than they normally are, though? Like just from top to bottom, it's almost like.
I feel like every Saturday is a good game. Every week somebody poses a different threat to each team. Teams have been in the league for a long time, and then obviously had the addition of Syracuse and Louisville and Pittsburgh. Those guys had a good dimension for us, and they're just traveling to their stadiums and playing their style of football. It's just a good mix. We have spread teams, power teams. We have teams with a lot of wide receivers, teams with running backs. We have Georgia Tech is the only team basically on this side of the country that runs triple option. So it's just the ACC has a lot of dynamics, and it's really interesting. It's a lot of fun to play in the ACC.
You guys are coming off your close to ineffective offensive performance in the 10 points up. What have you done in practice and time to try to resolve some of those issues?
Just keep practicing. It's one of those things where you can't try to go to the drawing boards and fix a whole lot of things. You just got to go out there and do what is our offense, and that's just throwing and catching and running the football effectively. And that's all we did all week. That's all we did all last week. Just throwing and catching, really stressing, throwing to a point, catching football really well. And that's all it comes down to, just throwing and catching, and being our offense, having our quick game, having our deep shots, James to get the football, our backs touching the football, just being efficient on third down. That's what it all comes down to.
Does a game like Miami kind of catch your attention, maybe to little things that you may have ignored while things were going good, and make you kind of feel a little bit more conscious?
The first game caught our attention to the things that we weren't doing good. I wouldn't say you only learn from the loss. You learn from wins. These things you can't do right. So I wouldn't put a loss in the category of we got to learn from these mistakes because we make mistakes and win. So just one of those things where we knew early that if we weren't efficient, it'd catch up to us, and it finally did. And now we just got to bounce back and have a good week next this week.
Does it create a little bit more of an urgency to try to correct it now, or?
No, it's always an urgency. When you have mistakes, it's always an urgency on Sundays to come back and correct those mistakes. That's why Sundays we consider our days of correction. We come out and we correct our mistakes. And so I would say every Sunday, every week, we have urgency to fix our mistakes that we had.